Welcome to the realms of Weshur. This map here depicts the most northwestern coastlines of the realms of Weshur. Within this large and vast area exists several different nations with various government forms, all of which of course are fantasy. Now, chief among them, and the subject of this video today, is that of the nation of Repullika. Nominally a constitutional republic, but subject to dictatorial influences at the present time, as it currently stands as the largest and most powerful nation within the region, and its republican tendencies in the age of absolute monarchy has tested the patience of many of its neighbors, especially its westernmost sea-powered neighbor of Evangel. Now, the nation of Repullika's capital is in Karii, southwesternmost major city on the southwestern bay. This city is among one of the largest and most populous in the world, but also fraught with squalor, prompting the revolution that brought forth the current constitutional republic that now runs the nation. It controls several forts to the south, which were founded under the present republic and stolen from the kingdom of Weshur itself in the southwest. These forts, being Suffort and Central Fort, were taken through violent combat and wars, making the striking southwestern push that its border now has. The kingdom of Weshur itself was once the dominant power in all of this northwestern region, but over the centuries has waxed and waned, and is currently in one of those weaker periods. It was able, in the wars following the rise of the Constitutional Republic of Repullika, to maintain its city in Bortun on the eastern edge of the Southwest Bay. However, this was not easily held and needed support from the constitutional monarchy of Evangel, which sent both its fleets and small but professional army to seize and protect the city against Republican advances during the initial rise of the Republic. Now, the Republic's expansions was not limited to this southern thrust, but was also up here in the northwest against the Skulii kingdom, of which it seized the region where it now placed the fort of Northwatch. Although a relatively desolate region, it's still valuable for its natural resources and minerals, prompting the Republic to have taken it in its early days. Now the Republic, although controversial to most, is a noble nation for the time period, as the year is currently 1839 after crucifixion. It stands for the ideals of a meritocracy, allowing non-nobles to be promoted to positions of power, positions of note, and high positions in both military and government that were previously banned under the prior absolute monarchy. Now, this is terrifying to its borders, as the constitutional, although very traditional, monarchy of Evangel to its west, absolute monarchy of Weshur to its south, the viceroyalty of Verksgun to its east, the absolute monarchy of Skulii, Avigard, and Polska to the far east and north, all find this as a threat, fearing that their own populaces, in a current era of famine and economic decline, are likely to overthrow them, prompting massive counterattacks and, although disorganized, invasions by multiple nations into the newly formed republic. Now, the Republic, with its massive populace and major growing regions, has been able to supply, feed, and raise armies that severely outnumber each and every one of its neighbors. These armies have been able to make southernmost pushes and northern pushes and stave off naval attacks from all of its enemies near simultaneously. Though this does little to ease the concerns of the Republic's neighbors, it has allowed it to both survive and expand in this age of decline. Its only somewhat ally is that of the Kingdom of Krut to the far south, which is a particularly mountainous and swampy kingdom with very little ability to actually modernize and urbanize, being ostracized to the coast of its own country, meaning that most of its income comes from sea trade and the minerals it's able to pull from the mountains around its main cities. However, It is nearly unbreachable because of its positioning within these mountain swamps, allowing it to be quite a thorn in the sides of the Kingdom of Nivelle and Weshur, drawing their resources away from the Republic so that it might focus on its larger enemies to the north and to the west, allowing for its continued expansion. Now the Kingdom of Verksun, well, viceroyalty in technicality, but as far as it's concerned, it will be a kingdom, is, although antagonistic towards the New Republic, it is less aggressive compared to the rest of the other monarchies in the land. It is more concerned with securing its own borders and has faced little immediate threats from the Republic, and is thus sending little more than financial and moral support to those like Weshur, Evangel, and Skulii, who have been pushing hardest against the newly founded Republic.